Hi there, Karen Flaherty from Living by Human Design. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Monday. Last official week of the summer. And we've got the Gate 40 this morning, which is all about aloneness. Okay, so we got the sun in Gate 40, which started this morning, August 29th, and it goes until September 3rd. The Earth is in Gate 37, which is community, and the sun is in Gate 40. So what we've got is one of the only two matchups that create a channel of the sun and the Earth. 4037 is one of them, and then 3420 is another one that creates a channel. And so this creates the channel from the will center to the emotional solar plexus. So it's the little red triangle down to the emotional solar plexus, which is the brown triangle. The 40 in the sun, conscious sun, and the 37 in the conscious earth. And so this entire week, we're going to have this energy of the will center, both the will center and the emotional solar plexus. So it'll be a little emotional, it'll be a little willful. You'll probably feel both those energies if you don't usually have. And so it's a little bit different than some of the other weeks. And this is the only definition that we'll have the entire week, except for some moon signs that come in once in a while to match up with other gates. But this channel of community will be defined all week in the transits. So with the sun in Gate 40, we call it aloneness. It's one of the three aloneness gates. And I'll just go back to the chart for a second. The other two aloneness gates actually come right off the throat center. So 33 is one of the aloneness gates. That's the gate of privacy and retreat. And then we've got the 12, which is over here between 45 and the 36, 45 and 35, which is the gate 12. And that's the gate of caution. And it's really, those three gates actually are like the anti-social media gates, right? Those people with those gates in there, really almost anywhere in their chart, are not going to be as likely to be on social media as some other people are. They really, truly are the aloneness gates. They need time to be alone. They need time to ruminate over things. They need time to integrate a little more than other people, but they do keep to themselves more, and they are usually, a little bit more introspective, a little more of an introvert person, probably, or possibly, and then they'll need their alone time every day, definitely. So this gate 40, called aloneness, it's also called deliverance in the original I Ching. It's the point of transition between struggle and liberation. So, basically you're in the struggle, you want to be free, but you have to, take a few steps to get there. The incarnation crosses this week, it's the cross of planning, ironically, denial and migration, because the 37, don't forget the 37 and 40 always come together. So this aloneness is always pushing you, almost propelling you to be with other people, to be in the community, to find solace or companionship or friendship with the other people that are in the community, right? And then this gate 37 actually is community. So it's the family or friendship in the original I Ching, are the names for it. It's the manifestation macro and microcosmically of the organic nature of communities. It's how we come together. This whole channel is very tribal, and it makes, and it basically compels us to be together, to be in a culture or tribe or some kind of community gathering that allows us to have companionship and friendship and community and peace and harmony and all that good stuff. That's what it's there for. But the gate of aloneness is truly there to push you in that direction. In the gene keys for gate 37, weakness is the shadow, equality is the gift, and tenderness is the CD. With the gene key 40, we've got the shadow here is exhaustion, the gift is resolve, and the CD is divine will. And so in the graphic, Richard says, true resolve is not possible unless you know how to relax. And I put this in here because a lot of us don't know how to relax anymore. A lot of us can't get to that place of calmness and peace that then allows us to either be with other people or to find the resolve to do something. Now, what's interesting about this energy of the 4037 coming together is that it always defines the will center, right? And it always defines the solar plexus. And so with the will and the solar plexus both being defined, there's sometimes a more of a force to feel like something needs to get done, an exertion, kind of making things happen as opposed to allowing them to happen. So the will center has a hard time allowing sometimes. And so that this is why that true resolve is not possible unless you know how to relax, because you have to kind of relax into your decisions. The will center, except for very few ego manifestors, is not a place to make decisions. It's not where you make your decisions. And that's on like 2 or 4% of the population. Yeah, it's probably 1% of the population are ego manifestors. Unless you're an ego manifestor, then you shouldn't be making decisions from the will center. You want to use your strategy and authority to make your decisions as you usually do, and not use that will center, because it is not about making decisions. We can force ourselves to do things. We can exert ourselves. You can, run yourself down time after time. But that 40 is also about the stomach. And so just be aware, if you do have this 40 in your chart, see if you're forcing yourself or making yourself do things with that will center energy that doesn't really feel good. Because if you push and push and push, you're going to have problems with either your heart. With the gate 40, it's the stomach. With the gate 21, it's the heart. And then the other two have to do, the 26 has to do with the thymus gland, which is all about immunity and immune conditions, autoimmune conditions, for example. And then the last one is the gate 51, the gate of shock, which is all about the gallbladder. It's all about the gallbladder. And so if you have issues with any of those gates coming off, if you happen to have any of those gates defined, you'll be more likely, if you're forcing yourself and making yourself and willing yourself to do things, to have issues with those particular parts of the body. So just a little FYI. So he also says this 40th gift of resolve is about becoming adept at giving to yourself, right? So before you give to others, you want to give to yourself. Give yourself that time to relax and to integrate and to figure out what it is you really want to do. And then the paradox of the divine will, he says, is you are absolutely free to do as you wish in life. And yet at the same time, nothing you do is really in your hands. And this kind of goes back to the original stuff that Ra says. It's like no free will. As opposed to free will. I think a number of us in the human design community have come to the point where we really do feel as if there is free will, that you do get to make your decisions, your choices, using your strategy and authority, that nothing is set in stone necessarily with what's going to go on in your life. We always have the choices, but originally in human design, it was thought that we were kind of on this little track in life that we didn't really have much ability to go either way. So we've got a number of personalities born in the gate 40, actually kind of a little unusual, and yet a lot of personalities who definitely had the will to continue despite really tough odds. And because again, they had the 40, which is about aloneness. And it's funny because it's about feeling alone, even if you're in a group. And so some of these people were kind of, you might describe them as loners, right? People who weren't, they were marching to their own tune and not caring what other people thought. So generally, I'd say a lot of these people march to their own drummer in their respective industries or fields. And today we're going to be talking about Lily Tomlin, the comedian. So Lily Tomlin was born on September 1st, 1939. She's 82 years old, she'll be 83 September 1st. And she's born in Frenchtown, Michigan, a section of Detroit. And it's she's a manifesting generator with a 3-5 profile, and she's the right angle cross of planning. So a lot of people with this 4037 will be the right angle cross of planning, anybody who's a right angle. She was an actress, comedian. She is an actress, comedian. I think she's still on that show, Gracie and Frankie. with Jane Fonda. She's a writer, singer, producer. She's been very successful with her collaborator and writing partner and life partner, Jane Wagner, and now they're married. And her awards have included 2 Tonys, 1 Grammy, 6 Emmys, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. But she's also been nominated for loads of other awards, including Oscars. So she almost has the all 4 of them. So if we look at her chart, she's got that 40-37 right up in the conscious sun and earth. And so it creates this channel, right, between the will and the emotional solar plexus. But this is a relatively mild emotional wave that she has, because it is in the tribal circuit. And so it'll be a very mild wave for her, mild emotional wave. But she is the archetypical manifesting generator, although both of these, the 34 and the 20, are both in the design side, so they're in red. And she may not have really even been conscious of that when she was younger. She also has the 360. So this is the 3420 is the channel of charisma. She's also got the 6124 up here channel, which is all about holistic thinking. And so it's a good thing for a comedian to have, I guess, to be able to have a great head, be getting lots of inspiration, and also have the ajna to remember all the lines and the pieces and the characters that she's best known for. She did have the defined throat here, and she had the 16, which is enthusiasm. That's nice to have. 56 is the storyteller, which she definitely is, the storyteller. And 23 is nice to have because that's all about being able to articulate the really complex ideas that you have in your mind. And if you know the work that she and her partner Jane have done over the years, they've created some pretty complex characters and some pretty interesting both Broadway shows and movies, and a number of things that have won her all her awards. If we go down here, she's got that sacral defined, and then she's got the root defined also, which keeps her grounded. And she's reliable. She's somebody you can depend on. People like working with her. She's worked with all kinds of directors and producers on Broadway, in Hollywood, in Saturday Night Live. She's worked with almost everywhere. And she has that 360, which is all about evolution and growth. And so she has been doing that, as well as this 56, which is the storyteller, but it can also be all about curiosity. She's got the 25 off of here, off the G center. So she is somebody who needs to be in a place that works for her, that feels good. She's got the gate 31, which is influence up here. 25, love of spirit. So she, there's a spiritual sense there. She's got that both conscious and unconscious. Oh, interesting. She also has the 56 in her Chiron return. So, after 50 years old, she was probably even better at telling stories. She definitely learned the lessons in the first 50 years. And then she's got the gate 31, which again, so these both show up in her chart already, but they're basically even more prevalent after 50 years old. And she's been very successful for the last, over the last 30 years. So she was in Rowan and Martin when she was just about 30 years old, really, made her mark to 50. But then since 50, she's been very, very productive, active in, working along with Jane to create new pieces. So it's been a very active life for her. And she does have that 40 actually twice in her chart. Now that I notice it, she's got 23 twice. She's got a few things twice in her chart. And that 25, love of spirit, is actually right in her conscious moon. So she's going to be, that's going to drive her. The spirituality, the wanting to be with people and help people and have them come along in their journeys by laughing is a big deal for her. And she's got the 34 in her unconscious moon, which means she's very good at multitasking, and it's actually a very powerful. It is considered the gate of power as well as multitasking. So very interesting chart for Lily Tomlin, one that will probably keep her going for another 10 or 20 years if not on stage, then in a very happy and productive life. So happy birthday, Lily. And I hope you have a great week. Be well, take care of yourself, maybe get some time for introspection, or realize that other people might need some time for being alone or wanting a little bit of a retreat this week. It'll be that kind of week. A little bit introspective, a little bit looking inward. So enjoy, have a great time, enjoy the end of your summer and Labor Day weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.